And I started getting emails from my friends. Dick, did you see what's on page 69 and 70? I believe that means we have to turn over not only all our medical records, but our financial records. Could this be true? So members, people, real people, probably people in this room said, Mom, we got to go. I see the congressman's having a town hall meeting. Let's go ask him. And so y'all went to the town hall meeting and said, Mr. Congressman, on page 69, he said, I don't know, I didn't read the bill. You're what? Now, these folks think you're an angry mob. Now, here's the deal. How many of you are married? And you know what I'm talking about. Let's say you come home and you tell your spouse, honey, I just bought this marvelous insurance plan for you and me and the kids and all the grandkids and for generations to come. And it's a great deal because we don't have to really worry about it because the kids and the grandkids are going to pay all the bills. And I didn't read it.
Yeah.
Now, you think your wife's going to say, well, honey, you're such a dear. She's going to say, you dang fool, you bought an insurance plan and you didn't read it? So you go to the town hall meeting, your congressman says, I didn't read it. And what do you say? Same thing you would say to your spouse, the person on this earth you know and love the most of anybody in the earth, that person that you adore. You don't treat this congressman any different than you do your husband. You damn fool, what's the matter with you? And he says, look at that, I'm being confronted with an angry mob. We're unpatriotic. And so, again, now your ladies know better than the husbands. That's called being dismissive, right? Discounted. And it makes you mad. And so that's where the anger started coming. But what did Nancy Pelosi say? Don't mind those people. They're just, what was she say? Astros. They're not real. You know, again, discounting you. Now, we had the march on in Washington. Anybody here get to Washington on And, you know, I don't know, they not quarrel about how many people there were there. There were more folks there than my last family reunion. And there were more folks there than any town hall meeting I ever called as a congressman. And they all got there on their own terms, on their own hoof, at their own expense, for their own purpose, to give their own message. Nobody was programmed, nobody was paid, nobody was put on a bus. You just went because you had something to say, and what you had to say was, leave us alone. Yes. Get responsible with your tax dollars and get yourself under control. And what did they say? Oh, that's not real. Now here's the deal. What we have in Washington today, more than at any time I have ever seen, are people who are greedy for their own power and control in the construction of their larger dominion of control over your life, and who have no understanding of the limits of big government. This is what I call the Dirty Harry principle. How many of you remember Dirty Harry? Is that a man's got to know his limitations. They think they've discovered the money tree, and they think big government is without limitation. So big government can take over the economy. Armey's axiom. The politics of greed is always wrapped in the language of love. Now they're pretending to love your liver. And my line is very simple. You've got a responsibility for my liberty, not my liver. Leave me alone. I can take care of that myself. And so what they're saying is, we're going to, because we love you, we're going to take control of all of health care in America. I can tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, you may not believe this, but they're going to screw it up.
What happened?
You know,
they already have.
Screw up the bowling ball. They already have. Right?
Medicare, Medicaid.
By the way, I am covered. You're not going to believe this, ladies, but I am in Medicare. Not that I wanted to be, but they told me when I signed up with Social Security, if you don't sign up for Medicare, you don't get your Social Security. I said, where did that come from? It's not in the law, it's not in a regulation. It's in a policy memo they wrote. And so we sued them and we're winning the case. But the fact of the matter is, once they get a public option, they're going to find so many intimidations, punishments, coercions, fines, that you won't be able to say no. Because their purpose is not for your health care to be better. Their purpose is for them to be in control of it.
Absolutely.
And we need to understand that. Now, the other thing is they're feigning a great love for the environment. I'm cracking up about this guy, Al Gore. You know, as a matter of fact, they were telling me the other day that there's no good science behind their stuff. And I said there's at least one good mathematical component to it. It's called an algorithm. At any rate, he's worried about the polar bears. Last year, 8 polar bears died of old age or other natural causes. Wow. I don't know what causes polar bears to just die on their own terms. 56 polar bears were shot. Now, if Al Gore wants to save the polar bears, just pass a law that says you can't shoot polar bears.
You gotta have a permit.
You gotta have a permit, yeah. But at any rate, this cap and trade thing is another intrusion. They're pretending to love the environment, but they want control of the economy, and for what reason? 1, to enhance their own power, and 2, to engage in income redistribution. It's always about income redistribution with them in charge. So we got our big issues that we're facing right now in front of us. There are 3 big issues that are immediate. There's cap and trade, which is their effort to take control of the environment and industry, which will absolutely devastate the ability of the American economy to be competitive in world markets and do no good for the environment. Do you think the Chinese and the Indians are going to follow suit? No, absolutely not. And then the health care bill, and then this thing that they really crack me up. Liberals, by the way, are funny people. Have you ever listened to them? I've lived with a firm belief. If you just buy them a dictionary, they'll get smart. Because now they're saying they have to save the American working man and woman from the vagaries of a secret ballot.
No.
Can you imagine that? You know, you're from Virginia. Can you imagine how horrible it has been for the poor working men and women in America today to be laboring with secret ballots in the decision whether or not to unionize?